today with the incredible Ayman Hariri. Hi, Ayman. How are you?
Hi. Great,
Hi.
great. Great to be here.
I'm a huge fan of Vero, the platform that you created, and I just want people to get to know you, the man behind this amazing community
I
platform.
mean, thanks for choosing us as a platform that you're using so much, and it means a lot when we find people like yourself come on board, and all the cosplayers that have chosen Vero as a platform that they want to use as well for their their online social interactions.
Your father, right? He played a really big role in the person that you are today. I know that when we think of the name Hariri, we think of him, his foundation, everything that he has given back to the people of Lebanon. And so, if you can talk a little more about, you know, that and how he became the real life superhero, because I feel like he was a real life superhero.
Losing my dad and the way we all lost him is a tragedy I wouldn't want anybody to ever experience. But unfortunately, it's one of those things that you look back and you think, even today, it just it's something that's really difficult to accept. But at the same time, he was such an amazing dad, and a great friend, a person who I relied on, so many people relied on, that I would wish that on people. Just that miracle of having such an amazing father. And um, it's it, it's something that I carry around with me. He's always with me in my head. I always think about how he would behave, or how he would treat things. And there was just these simple rules that he adhered to, that you could tell that was just a theme of respecting others, treating everybody with respect, um, and the highest form of respect is to be honest with them. And he actually he when asked, like, what's the secret to success, and he said honesty. Like that was the first thing. And I later actually, Vero means truth, in Italian and Latin, and I remember later figuring out sort of the connection between the two. I hadn't
Wow.
actually done it on purpose, but I do carry, I carry that standard with me wherever I go and whatever it is that I do. I try to, anyway. I mean, nobody's perfect, and we have to do our best. But it's one of the things I learned from him. And he was a real life superhero, as you said. When he attained success, he decided to help his country, and selflessly help his country, to the point of um, doing things that you just don't hear anybody doing, or has done in history. He put 30,000 kids through college, um, with his own money, which, you mentioned the foundation. It was a foundation that was a means for him to put his own funding through, and make sure that an entire generation wasn't lost to war. And he really believed in education and the power of education. And he didn't even give them, it wasn't like a condition, like, if I put you through college, you have to do this, you have to pay me back. None of that. There was no conditions. And he just felt like, if he needed to do his part to create an environment that these Lebanese who were going out and getting education elsewhere, that they would have a place to come back, and a place they would want to come back to, and work, and work to rebuild. Because he knew that he wouldn't be able to do it alone. He would need them to kind of come back and want to rebuild their country.
Wow, that's like I said, a real life superhero to many. To you, I've gotten to know you personally, and I remember the first time we met in C2E2 convention, and there was walking and rolling. little
Yeah.
table setup that they had. And it's this incredible people that create wheelchairs that are designed like superhero props. So let's say, Harry Potter design, like the Hogwarts
Yeah.
train. And I remember how much that touched you. And I remember that you left the convention, and later, a few minutes later, Christine from Vero was like, "Hey, can you come with us? Because Batman," and they call you Batman, Bruce Wayne, just made a really generous donation to Walking and Rolling, and we would like to present this check for them. And I remember just like crying so hard because it's not often that you see people that want to give back and want to help others. And you have done that so many times through the 2 years that I've gotten to know you, that is just so admirable. And, I can see how your father aligns to who you are as a person. So I admire you very much, Ayman, just so you know.
No, I appreciate you saying that, Liz. Yeah, at the end of the day, I think what makes us human is just empathizing with each other and understanding that we don't all get to have good luck come our way and opportunity come our way that can change our lives. And I think if we can continuously look for opportunities to help each other, I think that's what keeps us grounded and keeps us understanding that not all about us, but about what we can do for others.
Right.
And I saw that, like you said, I got that from him 100%. I mean, just that ability to surprise people with something that they don't expect that can change their lives. And I try to do that as much as I can.
You're very into charities, and that's actually how you got to meet Zack Snyder, right? Through a charity. And you
Yeah,
were
no,
actually
exactly. Yeah.
in BVS. I saw you a couple of times in cameos. I'm like, hey, there's Ayman. And you want to talk to us about that a little bit? How did that go, or
Yeah,
how that
I mean,
happened?
I downloaded this app called Charity Buzz, and I've used it quite a bit. I'll be honest with you. I've met quite a few very, very interesting people, and it's such a wonderful way to meet people. Actually, if you think about it, like they're on the platform to do good, and you're there on the platform to do good, and obviously, there's you're attracted to them for some reason. You're a fan, you like the same things, you're interested in learning something from them, whatever the reason, but charity brings you together. And I really like that idea, and it's sort of a life hack that I've used quite often. And I remember looking at that auction and going, no, it's not possible. Let me read it again. Let me read it again. So I
So
read it
wait,
like
what did it say? What did it
it
say?
said, walk on roll on Batman versus Superman, and I'm like, the movie? What is this? Is this real? Like, and I remember passing it on to a friend and saying, read this, tell me what you understood, because
You were so
I just
amazed by it.
I couldn't. You've never heard of anything like this. Like, you get walk on rolls on some movie, a small independent movie or whatever. You understand that, but the Batman v Superman, you can be on this movie. So I'm known to be a bit competitive when it comes to auctions. So I won that auction. And it was a really good cause for one of the kids of one of the crew members. So I really appreciated that. And I remember, talking to the person responsible for organizing it with me and making sure that I arrive on time and everything. And she was asking me about, like, just telling me, like, you've got these different scenes, and Zach, knows that you're working out and all of this. Do you want to be in this? And I remember, just telling her, like, look, I'd love to be in a scene where, the fact that I work out a lot is somehow integrated into that. But I was like, actually, the main thing I'm interested in is that my kids get to see me, that I'm not like wearing some, costume or suit or
Right.
overaction scene that, I just kind of fly by. That was me, by the way. I was wearing that guy. And she told me there's a scene in the diner, and I was like, that does sound like my scene. It's not the intuitive. It's not the one that you would go for first, because you're in an action. It's obviously there's action, so
Right.
you would go for the one that has action. But I was like, I feel like that's the one I should be in. That's the one I'm going to be the happiest having been in. And she was like, "Are you sure? Are you sure? It's a diner." I'm like, I don't know. It just feels like that's the right one. I'm going to be able to tell my kids that's me, and they can immediately recognize me. Obviously, there's no sense of anything else. Like, you don't get any other sense. But I remember just getting there and meeting Zach and seeing the production size, and most importantly, though, how passionate he and everybody else was about what it is that they were doing. You don't think about that. I don't know why I didn't think about it. I don't make it a habit to start Googling people before I meet them. I find like that's like, I
Right.
don't know. I'll look up somebody. I'll look up what they've done. Like movies
Right.
they've made. Like, because I'll forget, or I wouldn't realize, or something, and I don't want to be that guy.
Right.
But you don't think to what extent. You think that to a certain extent it's a job. They're hired to do it.
Mhm.
You don't think they grew up with the stuff, or you just don't build all of that in your mind. And I carried some of my books with me, and I brought them out, and
Some of your books. Let's talk about
Yeah,
your
no,
books, because they're
no.
not just books. They're
Well,
not just books.
I mean, they're comic books.
Like what, the
And I
first
remember
one?
the whole, yeah, all the entire, like the whole set stopped. It was like everybody showed up in Zach's tent.
And I remember seeing a picture of Gal even holding the one with the
Yeah,
Wonder Woman, and you have the first one from 1938, like Superman, first Action Comics. So of course they're all gonna stop and like nerd out. This is amazing.
yeah, that to me was, those moments were some of the best moments I've ever experienced on things like this. I mean, to see everybody be genuinely excited and they get involved to that extent was just fantastic for me.
That's
And I'll
awesome.
never forget it. Yeah. And it just shows the love and care that they put in. And you can see, I mean, with the Snyder cut and everything else, it's like
Oh, yes.
it's purposeful. It isn't just a job. It isn't just getting something. It isn't commercially minded. It isn't just about, how much action we can put in this or how much money we can make out of it. Yes, all of that, happens as a result of, and I believe in this generally. I mean, it's how we're doing everything with Vero and how I see companies like Apple behave. It's, make a good product and the money will come. That, don't put it forward like, how much money can we make? And then,
Right.
that becomes the first thought, and every other action happens as a result of that. You can't behave that way.
It
I
can
don't believe.
ruin things big time. No, I know.
Yeah, it does.
And the Snyder Cut, he got $0 for the Snyder Cut, Zack Snyder. So yeah, it's very passionate. And honestly, I want to talk about Vero, right? So because I know Vero played a huge part in the release of Snyder Cuts, because Zack uses that platform, and throughout the years of the fandom trying to fight, he was able to share images with the fans through Vero. And to me, it was his way of keeping a connection with his fans, a true, healthy connection where he can share his art. And I love the app personally. It launched back in 2015.
Yeah.
Right? And what was the reasoning behind creating a social platform like Vero?
Really, it came from just a simple feeling that we could do something better. I mean, we just we wanted to try. I mean, it wasn't anything ego. Oh, we can do better than all of this. It wasn't anything like that. It was just like, we should. It felt important enough. It felt like it um, that something was missing on existing platforms, to us anyway. I mean, that's how we were thinking about it. I had come on social late and wasn't really interested to be on a social network and be. I'm a especially after my father passed away, I was thrown into the public lens, and it wasn't something that I wanted to expand on. I had spent my entire life up to that point being as anonymous as I possibly could, just to have as normal of a life as possible. And that was important to me. It was important to my family, my dad and my mom. And so going on a social network made no sense. It was the complete opposite of that concept. So when I did go on there, I just felt like they were engineered to get something out of us as opposed to being a tool for us. And so that was the biggest reason, I would say, that it felt like we could do something that was more human, that was taking into consideration how people interact with each other really, and not force an interaction out of them that was serving the platform more than it served them. And I noticed all my friends were acting very strange on social. They had already been on there for a few years. I was like, that's not
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
what was that? What is that? What are you talking about? Like, why are you acting this way online? It's like, I didn't know this side of you, and I felt like there was something going on there. And now we're discovering the reason for that, right? It's the algorithmic feeds. It's all the way that it's manipulating your behavior or taking your behavior and using that against you to serve the app, serve the platform for more ads, for more attention, all of that stuff, more engagement, whatever's the cool term that they use. But we wanted to do something clean and simple and let people enjoy being social online again, and share really cool things that they're super passionate about. I'm into movies. I could watch a movie every day if I could.
Yeah, and
And I love sharing that.
I love that about Vero. I remember signing up on Vero a long time ago. Um, and one of the things that I liked the most was restaurants. I'm a foodie, right? And
Yeah,
so when you travel, you don't know anything. You
right.
don't know local spots or this and that. And I thought that was so cool that your friends or people that you have acquaintances or friends, that they can actually recommend a restaurant that they've been to personally. So it's so special because it's targeted towards, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's like a real life interaction that you're talking to someone. Hey, I like this restaurant. I like this movie. I like this book. And now you have Vero 2.0, which gives you gaming, which is
Yeah.
huge. You can recommend games, talk about them, and you can do, voice calls and video chats. And it's just absolutely incredible what this app has become. And I remember a long time ago, I guess, the first ones that ever joined the app and really joined and went crazy were the cosplayers, right? And
Absolutely. Yeah.
and I think they were just tired of the whole Facebook, Instagram algorithm whole thing. And you guys got a huge wave of people because this started as a passion project that you put up with a team and you develop. But then were you guys ready for this wave of
No,
people?
definitely not.
Right.
We definitely weren't ready. And we learned a lot from it. I mean, and we never, we don't think of ourselves as having all the answers or anything like that. I mean, at the end of the day, we knew what we were taking on. We're taking on a very, very large challenge here with what we're doing. But when we got hit with so many people, I mean, we became #1 app in the world almost overnight. I don't think anybody with a team the size of ours could handle something like that easily.
Wow.
And I remember, not everybody knows. You're opening up an app and you're seeing software working or not working, or slowing down or not doing what it is that you want it to do. But on the other side of that, I saw what everybody was going through, and they put a lot of themselves into their work, and they didn't sleep for easily over a week, hardly ate. We're just pouring themselves into getting
Right.
things working again. And you're trying to solve a problem, but you're also feeling the guilt of, you feel like you're letting people down.
Right.
I wanted to make sure that they never felt for a second that they were letting me down, because I built not just a team, but I feel like a family, and I know the relationship that I have with them and they have with me, and we were all there just to serve our users, our customers, to get things back up and running. And we eventually did. And I think we're better people and a better team for it. But certainly that was a challenge that we hadn't imagined would happen then. I mean, we had just hit 150,000 registered users maybe a couple days before that. And we were like high-fiving each other. We were supposed to meet up, have a company meeting, and just discuss things,
Right.
and how we're going to do, the next things, and engineering problems and stuff like that. And stuff was happening while people were getting on planes. Like, they were panicking, getting on the plane. Like, how many hours are you going to be on the plane? 3 hours? What are we going to do in those 3 hours? I mean, it was literally.
How much did it grow overnight? It was just.
I mean, it was millions. I mean, it was astronomical. We hadn't experienced anything like that, and hadn't seen anything happen like
Right.
that. Such a, up to that point. I mean, obviously you see apps going viral, but they're very, they're single focus. We have such a big app, and it does so many different things that you have so many areas that you have to deal with. So,
Right. My
like I
goodness.
said, I mean, we've learned a lot from that. We're doing, more things to be ready for the next wave. We're not doing much marketing until we feel that we're ready. And yeah, 2.0 has been great. We're a small team. I feel like we punch above our weight in the things that we do, the way we do it. I don't see many apps that are as big as ours trying to take on as much, but we're not doing it out of anything but wanting to give users the best experience we think, we can give. And we have a lot more to give as well. So we're excited about the future.
Yeah, I mean, I am so excited to see everybody back on Vero, and you guys in 2019, right? You went to Comic Cons, and I don't think people realize the amount of effort that you guys put into raising awareness for the cosplay community. You double the prices of the big competitions in the conventions, which is a huge help for cosplayers. And you've made some cosplay contests before, and now you did the Snyder Cut contest as well. And I think you're the only app that ever cares about create. As a cosplayer myself, I mean, you work so hard on putting together this whole look, from makeup to photography to editing, and you want to show the full, not be forced to crop it into a square, but if you want to make it long, or if you want to make it whatever way you want, and full quality that people can zoom in, it's incredible the amount of detail that stays in Vero. It's mind-blowing.
Well, it's we're fans of each type of post that is in the app, and that's, I think, where that comes from. We don't like this idea that you put in the work, as you said, cosplayers put in the work of putting together their look, their costumes, and they care a lot about all the details that go into that. But you also have photographers that get up at, before dawn to be there right at that perfect time in the middle of nowhere, having slept overnight in a tent, just to take that one shot.
Right.
And then they go and they post it, and they're carrying around all this gear, and it's like, it's exhausting. There's a lot that goes into that. There's a lot of talent that goes into it, not just gear, but talent and time and patience and experience to be able to make something that they feel proud enough to share. And I find it almost criminal that the
Right.
resolution that it ends up being on most social platforms. And so we're fans of all that effort, of all that passion that gets put into the process of creating. And we'd like to get out of the way as much as possible and just let you share that and celebrate that. And we're not engineering anything or, like I said, getting in the way of that in any way.
Like the algorithm, right?
Yeah,
You
I
guys
mean,
have no
that's
algorithm.
that's just like, you amount all of these, this audience that you earn out of your own effort, and then a platform chooses to be a gatekeeper between you and your followers. It just doesn't make sense. I don't even think about that stuff. I mean, that to me is just a given. The way we're doing it, it should be chronological. You have access to 100% of your
Right.
audience, and that's just how it should be. I mean, can you imagine if your email decided,
It only shows.
yeah, you want to send this email to 5 people? Yeah, we're only going to send it to 3 because we just decided.
Yeah, I absolutely. And one of the things that I really like is that when you wake up in the morning, you go to your Vero, you can go to photos, and then right there you see every single photo that your people that you follow posted. So you don't miss out on anything. Videos, movies
Right.
that they recommended that day. So it's really nice because I feel like in other social media apps, absolutely, they take full control of what you see or you don't see. And also sometimes you're scrolling and it's like every 3 pictures there's an ad. And it's like, hey, this is out of control.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, it's an attention economy that we don't adhere to. We're not looking for your attention. I mean, we were the first app, period, I think, that had like showing you how much time you use it, even before screen time, and Apple did screen time and Google
Oh,
did
I
their
didn't know that.
version of it. Yeah, and it was our way. We're communicating with our audience, our customers, our users, and the world through our design and through the things that we're doing, through our actions, not through just marketing words. And the thing that we're trying to get across is that we're sincere about what it is that we're trying to do. We don't think that the way ad-based platforms behave is sustainable. I think it has an impact on people's mental health. I think it has an impact on society. We're seeing just what happens if things go out of hand. Echo chambers can lead, these online echo chambers are leading to real world consequences that we're all asking ourselves, how did we get here? I mean, I know how we got here, but nobody else is really trying to solve it. I don't think a whack-a-mole solution is going to solve it. I think the business model is broken, and it leads to this kind of behavior. So we're forging our own path, and we're lucky to have, like you said, the cosplay community that have that are on Vero, that care about what it is that we're doing. We love having people like yourself on the platform as well. I'm a huge fan. I've got that
Thank
picture
you.
that you sent me,
Thank you.
nicely framed. I mean, I love what you guys do, and the competition. I felt like, I felt like for all the effort that people put into what it is that I'm in awe of, like, the creativity and the workmanship on some of the things that they do. And I was like, guys, this is a no-brainer. I mean,
Oh
we
my
should
gosh. I remember in C2E2, your face, you were just like a child, like in a candy store, like taking pictures with every cosplayer, just being so excited about the whole cosplay community and wanting to give back and wanting to do more for them, for us, and that's so cool because you're a genuine fan, like what, a geek like us, you never see a founder, co-founder, and CEO of this big app coming in person. You flew just to be there and be with your team and be with the cosplayers and talk to them, and you were explaining the app. You had a tablet explaining how to use the app. Like it's so genuine. It's so, you can tell the difference.
I mean, we're speechless when we see the kind of reaction that we get, from our users, just pinging us personally or posting about us or recommending the app or the things that they say in the reviews. And it means a lot. It makes all the late nights and the long days and the big sprints that we do when we release such a big update. It makes it worth it, because I mean, we're all putting in time that takes us away from our families, that takes us away from the other things that we have in our lives. But we believe in this, Liz. I mean, nobody else is doing anything about this problem, and it has to do a lot with nobody wanting to take the risk, the investment risk in putting together a full social network. Everybody else is doing these single feature apps, which I understand. There's a place for those. I get it. But if we're going to make a dent in solving this problem, it has to be a bit more than that. We have to give more of ourselves, and invest more time, more money than anything that anybody else has done, and in a way that's different than everybody else. We're not just trying to build software, we're trying to create a culture as well within this thing that we're building. We can't just differentiate ourselves with features and code alone. It has to be more. That's why we give back, and we believe in having great people around us. I mean, we've always said we can't do this by ourselves. We need everybody to help us.
Yeah, it's definitely a living community, a real organism, I would say. I mean, 2.0 is a huge success. Are there more? I mean, I think you hinted it earlier that you guys are working on more things. I don't know how it can be better, but
yeah, definitely. No, we're not even halfway there yet.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, we have to, this isn't a company. This is, we are building something and need to release it, and we need to put milestones and hold ourselves accountable. This isn't, there's a big responsibility that comes with having the financial means to doing something, is that you have to do something with it. You can't just keep dreaming. So you have to have something that you can show for it. And so I would say, I mean, the internal joke for us is like 2.0 is our 1.0. Like whatever we dreamed then, a lot of it is in 2.0, and it took us this long. And it's just how it is with the team that we have, and or rather the challenge that we have and the few people that we have doing all the things that we want to do. But what we're dreaming up and what we're actually building now is sort of that next level that we knew we would only be able to start focusing on once we got sort of the base right. And that's what 2.0 is about. We're super excited about calls. We're super excited about the chat. I mean, I use the chat with everybody now.
That's great.
Yeah, it's really, really nice to be able to share more than just the photos. You remember in 1.0, you could only share a photo.
Right.
It drove us nuts. Like, we knew what we wanted to do, but we had designed ourselves into a corner. It was actually an idea that I came up with, and it didn't really serve us well. And I was like, okay, we're ripping all of that out. And everybody was like, really? I was like, yeah, egoless. You have to be egoless in this business. Like, just because something didn't work out, it's okay. You know, you learn from it and you move on. But we wanted to give people much, much more. So we did all the video stuff, and you see how it plays automatically when you share video, and you can share movies and music and all those great things that you can share on video on Vero in the chat.
It just makes it so much easier.
Yeah, it's
It
really
makes
cool.
everything easier. You can share profiles. I mean, also in the actual app, the fact that you can share links, that's huge, because most apps, the links don't work when you're trying to share something, or you have to have 10,000 followers to be able to do a swipe up. You know, it's so like, it gets you into that addictive thing of, I have to grow to be able to create. And that's what I appreciated. Anybody that joins Vero is able to share a link with their work, or share a video that they worked hard on. And these are things that really, it's a reality check of, wow, I don't even use hashtags that much when it comes to Vero. And it's something that, you know, you see in other social media platforms where it's like 30 hashtags to be able to be seen. Any future projects, you know, conventions or things that Vero's working on?
Absolutely. I mean, when things come back to normal and we'll be able to, you know, see each other in person, I mean, we'll definitely be at events again. We do intend on doing that. We just started our record label, and Thunder Jackson released his album at the end of last year, and he's our first artist that we signed. And Dana and the Wolf are releasing their music in you know, very, very soon. So we're really excited about that, and we love that we're doing these things, because these are true differentiators. Not, I mean, there's so many companies that created record labels, and, you know, I said to everybody, I mean, are we doing that? You know, I hope we're not going to be seen like that. But we're doing it for a different reason. We're doing it because we've been helping artists all this time.
Right.
And so we just decided, you know what, we need to have something that's structured for them, and hopefully succeed in making them successful. I mean, that's the main purpose of it. And it's creating these networks around us, these social networks, these real world social networks around us, of talented people that have amazing heart. You know, I believe that Kyle and Pete, who are behind Thunder Jackson, I mean, they deserve to win. Dana and Daniel, they deserve to win. I mean, it's just, it's written for them, and I can't wait for that to happen. And if I can play any part in that, you know, I'll be very, very happy. I'll be very proud.
The beginning of our conversation, talking about you know, honesty and Vero and giving back, and all of this is such a big cultural value. A company that, you know, leadership starts on the top, and then you have created a team that has become family. So, I mean, there's nothing but success to companies that start like that, and that do that, and keep being true to their original plan, which a lot of people change for the money reasons. But you guys have kept it very honest and very on point of what you want to do, which is give back to creators everywhere. I'm going to say I'm so thankful for you, for your team, especially for you for taking your time to join my new passion project. That is, it's just, you know, I want people to get to know these individuals that I truly admire, and you being one of them. I'm really honored that you joined me, and I wish you nothing but the best, Ayman. You deserve it.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate you saying all of that, and yeah, you know, let's keep doing amazing things together, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. And congratulations on your family, on everything that's going on.
Thank you. Guys, download Vero. I have here the little bar going on. It's vero.co, don't write com, right? Because a lot of people think it's .com, but it's .co. So I didn't make a mistake, okay? And download Vero, follow us, follow Ayman on Vero. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer, because I'm now an expert on Vero, and I can explain to you guys how it works. And so thank you again, and have a wonderful day. Bye.
Take care.